Hello. Hello. Welcome you all to this video. In this video, we are going to see about the ultrastructure of animals. So in the image itself, you can see the different organelles found in the cell. Then I'm not new for more. Now, same many videos of mine and the blessings of Sri Sharda Devi. I will see in this video. So let us see what is the structure of animal cell. So this video is going to speak about the different organelles in the cell and let us see what are they. What is cell? Cell is a closed structure and that is discovered by Robert Hooke. And he said all the sides of the structure is closed and hence it can be called as a cell. That is the terminology given. What does that cell means? And it is the structural and functional unit of every organism. Most of the cells vary in their size and most of them are invisible. That is, with the help of the technology or the microscope, we can see the structure of the cell. Based on this structure, cell theory was proposed. This every living organism is composed of the cells. Every cell in an organism is produced by the pre-existing cells. With the help of the pre-existing cells, the one cell should be present there and it should undergo the mitosis or the cell division. Then only new cells will be developed. And this is the concept of cell theory. And what the cell is made up of. So one by one, we'll see. There is a small difference between the plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell, they have the cell wall. Plant cell possesses cell wall, whereas the animal cell lacks cell wall. And inside the cell organelle, plant cell possesses plastids, chromoplastid, chloroplastid, and the leucoplast. So many varieties of plast will be there. Whereas in animal cell, chloroplast or chromoplast is not present, or it lacks the chloroplast or chromoplast. That is the major difference between the plant cell and animals. The rest of the organelles, that is whatever the organelles we are going to see, almost all will be same. So here we are going to discuss about the animal cell, and it has the cell membrane. The cell membrane, see, here you can see the cell membrane. And almost the cell has a structure. The cell has the structure of a bilipid layer. You can see two layers of phospholipids are there. See, a head and a tail. Here, the head and the tail. And these are the two lipid layers. And in between this, they have the proteins. And this is the integral protein. And this one is the peripheral protein. They have certain sort of functions. Let me see it. And this is surrounded by the parts of the cell together. That is the cell membrane is surrounding the organelles. You can see different types of organelles. And what it is going to do, what is the function? So here, this GIF image shows you in a very clear manner the polar, that is the head region is polar. I said, no, here you will be having the head and the tail region. The head is the hydrophilic end. That is, it will be attracting. Okay, philic means loves. So it loves to attract the water molecules. That is the polar region. And non-polar, that is the hydrophobic end. That is the tail region. It will be repelling. It will be sending out. I don't want the water molecules. It will be repelling the water. Okay. And apart from that, active transport. The cell allows certain molecules with the utilization of ATP molecules. You can see here. The energy will be utilized and it takes in certain molecules inside the body. And some are passive down the hill without any energy. How we will be getting down the steps. When you are climbing the steps, you need more energy. The same way, when you are stepping down, the energy is not that much required. And that is the passive thing. So these are the functions which the cell membrane is taking part. So it controls the movement of the materials in and out. I hope you're clear with the structure and function of the cell membrane. And next one is the cytoplasm. See, here you have a jelly-like substance, which is, as I said, like a jelly. And in that jelly only, all these organelles will be placed. Okay. So the structure of the cytoplasm is, it is present between a substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. And it makes up most of the mass of many cells. It is going to occupy the entire cell, and in that, the organelles are going to get floated. And what is the function of that? Different cell material are produced by the cytoplasm. And the cytosol, sol is nothing but a solution-like thing. Cytosol. Cyto means cell, and sol is nothing but it is the solution found in the cell. And cytosol is the jelly-like mixture, as I already mentioned, in which the other organelles are going to get suspended. So, cytosol plus organelles together we call as cytoplasm. Okay? And the next one. So, this region is the core important structure, what we call as nucleus. So, all the hereditary material are stored in the nucleus. Usually, that would be round or oval in structure and placed in the center of the cell. The nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a thin membrane, what we call as nuclear membrane. The nucleus itself has a separate membrane. So that we call as the nuclear membrane. Okay, this is the general structure of the nucleus inside the cell. And here, this denotes the nucleolus that is inside the nucleus. It has the nucleolus, nucleoplasm, and this is the inner membrane of the nucleus, and this is the outer membrane of the nucleus. And here you will be having the chromatin and this outer envelope or the outer covering of the nucleus. And many small circles you can see here, that is called as the pores. There is inside and outside movement, that it needs small pore-like structure. Okay, so this is the structure of nucleus. And what is the ultimate function? So as we said, it has the hereditary material. It is the central dogma of the life, and it is going to control the cell activities, almost all the activities, like production of the protein, translation, transcription, almost all the activities are controlled by the nucleus. And next comes the mitochondria. And mitochondria is otherwise called as the powerhouse of the cell. This is going to provide or render energy for the entire cell. For the entire cell structure, this mitochondria is going to render the energy. Okay. So this more number of mitochondria will be there. So it has more function. In detail, we will be discussing about each organelle. Okay, that will be taken as a separate video. And here it is about the cell and what is present in the cell, about each and every organelle. Just an outline is given. So mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell. So many number of mitochondria will be there in each cell. Then only it can get energy. This is the clear structure of the mitochondria. It has the outer membrane, it has an inner membrane, and all these are called as crustate. This finger-like structure, folding-like structure, this is called as the crustate. And in between the crustate, you will be having a fluid-like structure that's called as matrix. Okay? This is the structure. So it's normally rod-like, and the main function is going to release the energy, that is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. Hope you're clear with this till this organelle. Next comes the ribosomes. See, you can see this blue color structure is called as the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. This endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. One is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and another one is rough endoplasmic reticulum. That roughness is only because of the presence of this ribosome. See, these are the ribosomes. This structure is called as the ribosome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So many numbers are there. And these are separately found in the organelles. And it might get attached to the endoplasmic reticulum also. And when it is getting attached, it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. Hope you're clear. We have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. One is SER, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum without ribosome. RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes. Okay, and this ribosome will be round in structure, and this is called as the protein factory of the cell. Almost all the amino acids are produced with the help of this ribosomes. They are the factory. They are the factory for protein synthesis. See the structure? They are very tiny particles, and they can be seen only with the help of an electron microscope. And the main function is, as I said, it is the site of protein because it consists of RNA and protein. This is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Next organelle is rough endoplasmic reticulum. This is the rough structure because it has many number of ribosomes attached. Okay, so it will be tube-like, and it is also called as a skeletal system of cell. For each and every cell, it should get a support. So inside the cell, they have a network. Reticulum means network-like structure. So it is like a network. So which is going to provide a structure to the cell so that it is called as the endoplasmic reticulum. They have tube-like structures, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, as I said, no ribosomes attached, a rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes attached. Okay, my main function is it is going to help in the transport of materials inside the cell, intracellular transport. Okay. Next one is the Golgi bodies. So these are the Golgi bodies. This is the orange color structure. It's called as the Golgi bodies, and that is when it is near to the nucleus, it will be larger. Then when it goes near to the membrane, it fades away. It becomes very small, and this helps to transport the material outside the cell. That is, endoplasmic reticulum will be transporting the material inside the cell, and Golgi apparatus will be transporting the material outside the cell. Okay, and this structure is otherwise called as post office. So what usually the post office does? You will be sending the material and it will be delivered to the particular place, and that the Golgi body does. Ribosomes will be producing the protein and it will be carried by the Golgi bodies, and wherever it has to be delivered, that will be done with the help of Golgi bodies. So they are called as the post office. And the structure is series of flattened sac-like structure. They are sac-like structure, and the main function is processes, packages, and secretes the material. As I said, it will be secreting the material outside the body. See what it does? Materials that are transported by the endoplasmic reticulum usually stop first at the Golgi bodies where they are stored or altered before moving to other parts of the cell. And if it needs to be transferred to other parts of the tissues, it also will be done. Next one is lysosomes, and this is the important structure. This lysosome is otherwise called as suicidal bags, self-destruction. So why it is going to do this self-destruction? When a cell is getting infected or some foreign body invades the cell, this lysosome will engulf, it will eat those structures and it will lyse itself. Lyse means breaking. Somes, small vesicle-like structure. So you can see a vesicle-like structure here, and this will get lysed, broken, and because of that it is called as lysosomes. So round organelle surrounded by a membrane, And the main function is it contains a powerful digestive enzyme which is going to lyse itself, digest itself. Okay. And now it is about the vacuoles. Many number of vacuoles will be there in the cells. It will be fluid-filled sac that floats in the cytoplasm. And the main function is it stores water and food material and stores the waste also whenever it is to be taken outside. That will be done with the help of Golgi complex. Golgi complex takes the or fuses with the vacuum and it sends out the waste through the exocytosis process. Endocytosis means moving inside, endo. Exo is moving outside. So the waste will be sent outside. So these are the important organelles. So we have discussed about the plasma membrane, then about the nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, then about the mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, vacuoles, everything. And now it is about different types of cells. So we have two different types of cells. You all are familiar with the types of cells. That is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell, karyon means nucleus. Pro means first formed. First formed nucleus with the cells. A cell which possesses first formed nucleus. Those cells are called as prokaryotic cells. So they are very simple. They don't have the membrane bound structures. They don't have the plasma membrane or something else. They don't have the membrane bound structures. Example is bacteria and eukaryotic cell. Eu means true. Karyon, as I said, it is the nucleus. These type of cells or the organism possess true nucleus and they are more advanced. They have the membrane bound structures. Examples are plant cells, animal cells. So organization of the living things. What is this organization? Cell. Cell makes numerous number of cells makes tissues. Tissues makes number of tissues makes organs. Many number of organs make the organ system and more number of organ system makes the organism. And this is about the organization of living things, which is very, very important for the survival. An example for tissue is muscles. Tissues are made up of special types of cells, squamous cells, squamous epithelial cells, columnar epithelial cells, parenchymatic cells. So different types of cells are there. An example for organs. Many organs are there. Brain, lungs, heart, then stomach, liver. So these are examples for organs. And almost organs are present both in plants and animals. Then organ system, circulatory system, nervous system, digestive system. All these are examples for organ system. Almost all the organs should work in a united way. Okay, in the labor system. Then only the work will be completed in a without any chaos. Then organ system in complex organism like human, dogs, birds, higher order organism. Almost all have the 10 organ systems and it is listed here. So this much complex systems are made with the help of the cells. what we discussed in this video. And that makes the organisms. And thank you so much for the patient listening. And hereby, I acknowledge various sources like textbooks, World Wide Web sources, and other graphics incorporated figures used in this video for educational and students' understanding. Once again, thank you all and keep watching. We'll meet with a wonderful information in the next video. Thank you.